Hi, it's Gene, retired in Mexico, and we ask one question on this channel, which is, do they write them and sing them like they used to? Now, a lot of people, young and old, they think the old music is better, but I'm not so sure. And today we're going to hit up the poll winners. This is poll number 13, and you guys voted for natural snow buildings. And I tried to figure out how these guys got their name. It's not on Wikipedia, so maybe you can tell me. I'd be curious to know. It's such an unusual name, but they are considered drone and ambient and psych folk and all sorts of experimental rock, all sorts of descriptions. And they're from France. It's a duo. And so let's go ahead and hit them up. It's a long video, so we'll get right into it. Thanks. And this was suggested by Loam, Loam. Thank you, Loam, for the suggestion. It's like some kind of dulcimer. Very unusual. Very ambient so far. And this is an instrumental. It reminds me of an artist named Laraji. I love it so far. It's got a world music vibe. But you get the keyboard elements. So I'll pause it. I also want to, I actually want to turn it down just a little bit because of the ambient nature of it here. I have it pretty low already. But Laraji was a musician that Brian Eno worked with. And I can't remember the name of the instrument that he played, but it was a plucked instrument, and it reminded me of this. This is not a dulcimer, but and maybe it's electronic. Maybe these guys are doing it on keyboards or some kind of programming. I have no idea, but automatically it gives it that world vibe. Let's keep going on this. I love it. So much space. This is not what I expected. It's a pleasant surprise. This is very influenced by the minimalists, especially Terry Riley. It sounds like it's not moving or changing, but it is. Just like a glacier. Gonna close my eyes. It's nice panning in the headphones. They're mimicking feedback. See how it changes so slowly? See that stringed instrument is completely dropped out now. And I wonder if they're using tape loops. It sounds possibly like loops, or some kind of looping. Oh, there's that. Okay. Now we're reintroducing the main theme. If you saw in the thumbnail, this song is called Daughters of Darkness. So it's their most heavily streamed song on Spotify. Since now I hear a big Tangerine Dream influence. That early German electronica. Yeah, very Tangerine Dreamy, if I can say that word. Is this the fade? And I was surprised these guys won the poll. You guys are obviously an intelligent audience, that's for sure. Sorry about that. So I tried to stop that. Loved it. I'm a sucker for this kind of music. So let me start off with it's not a criticism. I love the song. But in terms of novelty, I think these guys really wear their influences on their sleeves. And I heard so many influences that, if I had to knock it for anything, it's just that I don't think they're reinventing the wheel, but in terms of composition and in terms of performance, it was stellar. I am a complete sucker for this kind of minimalist approach where you bring the changes in very glacially, very slowly. Wonderful stuff. Like I say, it reminded me of Laraji. Let me pull that up because he plays an instrument. I want to talk about it. And so let's go to Wikipedia and let's look up Laraji. All right. Because I just can't remember what that instrument is that he plays. It's escaping me right now. He is zither. Okay, zither. And I've seen the zither played. It's a cool instrument. One time I was in Budapest, Hungary, and I saw a guy out there just playing zither for coins. So, and then he was cracking a bullwhip. It was just so interesting. So maybe that was a zither. That's what it reminded me of. But so the influences I heard, you had all this kind of fourth world stuff that Brian Eno did, where he was working with guys like John Hassell. If you've ever heard of John Hassell, he was a guy that played it. He played a trumpet with no mouthpiece, just sort of a real quiet ambient sound. And he was a real progenitor of this kind of mixing electronics with world music, which now world music artists all over the world use electronics. But at that time, it was something new. I remember that late 70s, early 80s, that kind of thing. David Sylvian was doing it a little bit, Brian Eno and David Byrne, and there was a group of people that were kind of combining international and African sounds and Mid-Eastern sounds with these various avant-garde sounds. And so it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the minimalist Terry Riley specifically. If you've not heard In C or Rainbow and Curved Air, those are pieces that move very slowly. And you think of other minimalists, but when I think of Philip Glass and those guys, I think of stronger keyboard work. But and then, like I say, I heard the very strong Tangerine Dream influence. So I'm going to give this an A plus because I'm a sucker for this kind of music. I love it. Thanks for suggesting it to me. Um, Tangerine Dream, Terry Riley, John Hassell, those are the kinds of Laraji. You can see his name right up here on the screen, and good stuff. I love it. I'm really surprised these are not, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So they call it drone, but to me, it's not, this piece wasn't really drone, it was minimalist. And I think there's a difference. So a little droney, but the minimalist influence was much stronger in my estimation. I've listened to so much music like this that I was able to talk with some kind of knowledge and intelligence on here, which I can't always do. I don't always have the vocabulary, or I can't always even, sometimes I hear something that reminds me of something, I can't pull the name up. But this one just brought all those influences to bear, and those are all people that I really, really like a lot. Big minimalist. Philip Glass, by the way, I got to see him in concert a few years ago. Wonderful. Big fan of that kind of music. So, but like I say, bringing in more of the synths and some of the mimicked feedback. I guess that was kind of drony, the mimicked feedback, but really good stuff. Loam, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for voting on the poll. It's really fun. I have never heard of these guys until they popped up on a comment section a couple weeks ago. Never, just not on my radar at all. So thank you. It's a long video, so we'll wrap it up. All the instrumentation was great. That's it, as we say here in Mexico. Buen dia.